I'm like, you want a towel? He's like, David Goggins doesn't need a towel. I do. My cards are here. Man, you guys excited? This whole weekend I've been like crying and emotional. I had a therapy session on stage. I'm dreaming about the Olympics, and now I'm doing push-ups. I'm like, this is a workout.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
But life is a workout.
100%, man.
Most people are physically, emotionally, and spiritually unfit.
That's a true statement. That's a true statement. That's a true statement.
Just because I'm out of breath doesn't mean I'm unfit. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think so many people, Dave, first off, thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us your time. David's been on the show. He does very few interviews, but we had him on, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago when you were just getting into this kind of space and putting out a book. And since then, you've just exploded online and obviously all around the world. People love your mindset, your mission, your attitude towards life. And we got to do, after that first interview, we got to do another interview on stage a few months ago, which was an amazing time when you intentionally broke your legs. You still did like 30 push-ups on stage with 2 broken legs. It was crazy. And so I'm grateful that this is our 3rd time interacting together. And it's just been fun to watch your journey. And there's so many people that I met today and yesterday who said, I came here and I devoured your books, and it helped them get on a healthier path for their life. So I want to appreciate and acknowledge you for the work you've done with your books, your content, and the service you've had for this country as well. So thank you very much. What is the thing that you see most people get wrong with the content you're putting out there and the comments that people have, the complaints they have, the frustrations they have towards life, the struggles, the victim conversations that they might say, well, this is, maybe you can do this, but I can't do this. What do you see that people have wrong about the way they interpret their life, around their mindset, their attitude, or beliefs?
Well, people interpret me wrong, first of all.
Sure.
Big time. This is why they don't understand me or like me. I'm like I guess it's a lie detector test. Because I'm so honest with myself. So a lot of people who are jealous, who are ashamed of themselves, where I recognize that people aren't honest with themselves. Because what people don't get about me is that they look at me now. They forget I was 300 pounds, abused, struggled severely with learning. I was at a very abusive mindset. I mean, I got beat down growing up. Physically, mostly physically, but the mental scars are the ones that you carry with you. Yeah. You can beat me all day long, those mental scars. So when people look at me, I can look at them and I can see exactly who you are. Because I am no better than you. I'm no different than you. I just decided to stop lying to myself.
What were you lying to yourself about?
Oh my God, let's see if I saw somebody who was great in the gym, or who was good at learning, really smart, I would immediately look at their life and I would say, oh, Mom and Dad were both there. You're privileged, or you're talented. So I would immediately take myself out of the equation of, you're better than me because you were gifted these great parents, or you were gifted this great ability. The second I stopped doing that, the second I started realizing that I too have these abilities, but where I came from, it's going to be much harder for me to get there. I stopped looking at people like they were better than me. I started looking at people like they were more gifted than me. I started looking at them like, okay, this is where I need to go. I may not have a mom or dad or whoever to get me there, but I know I can get there. So what people see on Instagram is that dog. The dog, like a civilized, trained dog ain't gonna get there.
No.
You gotta be an uncivilized human being, which becomes very misunderstood when you're overtraining, because the placebo effect is real. That's what people don't get about me. to gain confidence, I must overtrain. So they don't get that.
You can't gain confidence by just doing a certain amount. It has to be over a certain
I have to know I'm working harder than everybody in the room. It has to
physically,
be real,
mentally.
tangible. Not running my mouth. It has to be tangible. And then when that becomes real, I'll become real. And that's kind of how I work. But to do that, it comes with a lot of anger. Because a lot of times in life, I don't want to do that. Like I was talking to Andrew Huber, he's talking about all stick, no carrot. Yeah. But at the end of the day, what happens is I don't care about the carrot. All I really cared about was that stick. Can I go through this journey knowing that there may be nothing at the end of it, but this? And that's all I ever cared about.
If you don't, let's say you have a goal or an intention to create something,
Right.
even though it's not the carrot you're chasing, but you're like, the work to getting there is what you're essentially working on.
Right.
If you set an intention to accomplish a goal, but it doesn't happen, but you spend 2 to 4 years dedicating yourself to learning something that you've never learned, to doing something that's harder than you've ever done, mentally, physically, spiritually, and it doesn't work out. Things fall apart, you don't accomplish the thing, whatever it is, how does that make you feel?
First of all, that's the story of my life. That's the story of my life. There would be no David Goggins without what you just said.
Really?
None. I never passed anything the first, second, or third time. Never. I'm not like first time, every time guy. I'm like a 10th time guy. Maybe a 13th time guy. But that said, it never bothers me. It did when I was younger and I was ignorant. Ignorant is not knowing. I was very ignorant when I was younger. And I would always say, man, I keep failing. Why can't I get this? But then I realized I keep failing at things because I'm shooting higher than everybody in the damn world.
Wow. Can you give some context for maybe 3 people that don't know who you are, some of the things you went after and pursued that you failed at?
So, for those of you who know who I am, I basically, like I said, I started off weighing 175, blah, 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 blah. Got out of the Air Force, gained about 130 pounds, became a 300-pound man who hated the water. So I had the bright idea to go be a Navy SEAL, hating the water. Yeah, that's a true story. So I failed at that several times. I failed at trying to lose the weight several times. I failed at trying to pass the ASVAB test to get in several times. So imagine this, I have to retake this military entrance exam. It's like a watered-down SAT test. And I had a 5th grade reading level. And I'm taking this as a junior in high school. And I can't swim, I can't do this, I can't do that. So you start to build up this pile of crap that is not just I can't swim, I can't even get in the military. So that was the mindset. But then I started thinking to myself, how many people are even going to attempt to do this in the situation that you're in? So I started realizing that the goals I'm setting for myself are so astronomical that for me to be down on myself, why? It's you against you. It's 1 versus 1. Most people in the world, especially today, they have those kind of odds. They immediately go and get a job that they can sign a little application for and turn it in and get the answer tomorrow. Not me. That's always been my mindset. My mindset is in the pull-up record. You know, I did it before people started getting these astronomical numbers. It was like 4,000. I just came out of heart surgery. People don't know this part of it. The reason I started doing a lot of pull-ups is because I couldn't run anymore. Somebody goes, what happens if you can't run, David Goggins? I find something else to do. It's that easy. You're going to kill yourself if you can't run. No, I'm not. I'll find something else to do. So at the time my heart was healing between my 2 heart surgeries.
2 heart surgeries?
I had 2 heart surgeries. So if people think I overtrained, no, I was born with a hole in my heart that they didn't find until I was 30 years old, almost died being Navy SEAL because of it. Anyway, so now I can't run. So I'm like, well, I can do pull-ups. Instead of me just saying I can do pull-ups, I Googled the Guinness Book of World Records for the record for 24 hours. So instead of me just knowing I could do pull-ups, because I was actually retraining my heart because I would go to AFib all the time because after my surgery, when you spike your heart, what happens is when it comes down, it starts to skip beats and go crazy. So pull-ups get me there really fast.
Interesting.
So I started retraining my heart because I would get up, I get like 160, I come down, do 100, and start doing this AFib thing. So I was training my heart
To get in rhythm
to
again.
get in rhythm again. And that's how I did. Instead of just doing it for like 100 or so, let's do thousands.
How many when you looked up,
I'm sorry, that's just how it went.
when you looked this up, how many pull-ups
It was
did you
four.
do before that? How many could you do like?
I was doing like, I was never a big pull-up guy. I was doing like, in a workout, I would do like 50 or 60, not at one time, but in a workout.
Yes.
So like, 10.
How many people can do 50 pull-ups in 20 minutes?
Not at one time at that time. So anyway, but then I thought to myself, you're the guy that ran 100 miles with no training. You're the guy that did this, you're the guy that did that, you're the guy that follows no one. You are a trailblazer, you're the guy that gets the shovel out and creates your own path. So that's how I talk to myself. And when I was younger, I talked very different than that.
What were the words you said to yourself when you were younger?
I am a born loser. I'm a victim. I shouldn't be here. Why did you have me? Like, that's what gets me so mad about people. They think that God created this man. No, God created me. But God created me a piece of crap. And said, and now I'm going to test you. And that's what people don't get about me. They think I'm this crazy psychotic. No, everything I do is well thought. I knew to get here, I had to create someone better than I was. So I never got mad at God. I said, Roger that. Let's see what we got.
Someone who has, the challenges and the traumas and the darkness that you face as a child growing up
In my adulthood,
and adulthood, did you believe in God?
always.
Really?
That's what they had. My mom and everybody asks me that question online because I cuss. You never hear me say God's in vain. Cuss words are cuss words, man. Cuss words are how I express myself. Cuss words are what life put me through. I refuse, I'll accept when I talk to you. I refuse to tell people a lie. And how I felt, I'm going to take you back there with me. I'm going to take you down to the deep end, brother. The deep end ain't got, it was hard. It was really tough. Boy, those weapons with the belt buckle really hurt bad. When those people called me the N-word, it really hurt my feelings. No, there's a bunch of MFs and Fs and all kind of stuff in there that was in me. So that's what we do nowadays. We try to put this cover over life. And we want, I don't want I wish you didn't cuss so much because I would like my teenager to follow you. Your teenager knows more cuss words than I do. Okay? And that's the funny thing. Those are the messages I get. So your teenager's going to live in a world that doesn't cuss, that doesn't whip his ass or whip her ass? No. I'm going to educate you about the real world. No, not everybody's life was like mine. But you better have some dog and some fight and some savagery in you. Because we all have problems. Very hard time.
I wasn't expecting to ask you this question, but when have you felt the closest to God?
When I was the most beat down.
Really?
Yeah, I'm opposite of people, man. Most people get beat down, they don't believe in God anymore because their life's not perfect. It's not great. That's the savage in me. I talk to God very differently. I said, okay, man. Okay?
Really?
All right. This is what you want from me now, huh? You want me to bring that dude out? You want him to come out again? I thought you buried him. You want him to come out again? Do you really? Do you really want him to come out again? You want the guy who did that, who taped his legs up to get 2 bullets, who broke it, you want him to come out again? You're challenging me now at 50? Again? Okay. Okay. People get it all wrong, man. We are being tested. So when you fail the test and you get mad at God because your life's not perfect anymore, just fail, bro. I failed too many times in my life, man, to go to heaven or wherever I go and have a conversation. I know I'll have a conversation with something about my life. And I want to be able to look at something in the eye like I look you in the eye. And not look to the side and not feel like, oh my God, I could have done better. I should have been better. Or I know that I quit when I shouldn't have quit. No, that's not me, man. And guess what? If I don't see anything, I live better here on life, on earth, than I would if I didn't believe in anything. Wow. So that's how I look at it. Wow.
How old are you now, Dave?
I'll be 50 next year. I'll be 50 in February.
50 of February.
50 yeah!
February what?
February 17th. Michael Jordan and Jim Brown's birthday.
Okay.
Okay. Michael Jordan and Jim
What is
Brown.
the thing that you failed the most that you eventually succeeded at that you're most proud of?
Probably life. Besides that, Navy SEAL training.
Good. How many times did you fail at that?
I went through it 3 times and I never failed one thing. I was in a time frame where there's this old, salty Vietnam vet named Captain Bowen. Captain Bowen, it was his last stint in the Navy. Old, salty guy, man. They pretty much kicking him out. So they gave him a job at BUDS to be in charge of BUDS training. And what he believed is that no matter where you are in training, if you get hurt or you fail something, you will go back to day 1, week 1.
Oh, man.
For 70-some, 80-some years, if you were a good student and you failed something or you got hurt, they kept you in that phase. You start at the beginning of that phase, but you start there.
Right. Don't go back to square one.
We don't go back to like a white t-shirt when you get to a brown t-shirt for Hell Week. And that's what happened to me. I got hurt a lot. And I would get through Hell Week, day 1, week 1. Get through Hell Week, day 1, week 1. And then that's what I was in 3 Hell Weeks in 1 year.
Oh.
Only human being never do that.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why they were talking about, like, why'd you tape your legs up? I mean, like, I'm sitting in the office with him, and he looks at me and he said, hey man, this is your last time you can go through Navy SEAL training because it's now inhumane what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? And even time this crusty man says that to me, I'm like, okay, this is bad.
I gotta do it. He was hard now or never.
He was hard as woodpecker lips, bro. He was hard as woodpecker lips. So,
and even he said,
this is inhumane. But I show up at his desk with crutches. I'm standing up at attention with crutches. He said, relax. He goes, okay, you got injuries there. I'll give you a couple classes to heal. You're starting, this is in 231. I started back in 235, it gave me several months to heal.
Class 231 or?
Yeah, that's where, I started at 230, then went to 231, and then I graduated 235.
Okay.
So when I was standing there, he said, okay, I see you got stress fractures on both legs. I was like, yeah. He goes, how many do you have? It's like, it was an astronomical number. They're all up and down my shins. And he goes, I'll give you a few classes. I needed like a few years.
Right.
So anyway, when I started day 1, I had to take my legs up.
Oh man.
Because I literally had they were still broken. So that's when I started realizing that the human being and human mind, that's when I guess Goggins was really starting to be born. Because I started realizing, I was like, I can never get through this. Because every day I would take them up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and the first 45 minutes, the pain was so freaking agonizing that literally when I run down the beach, I just want to cry. But then 45 minutes later, the pain went away.
Really? Why would it go away?
Probably because there was no blood or nothing going down to my leg.
No.
So I did that. And then in third phase, I got to third phase, man, my legs were pretty much healed for some reason. I never had them again. Never had stress fractures again.
Wow.
So if you want to, if you have stress fractures, run on.
I mean, we kind of joke about that, but I broke my wrist in a football game. I played the rest of the season. Then at the end of the year, they were like, you probably should have gotten the surgery back then because now the bone is crumbled, right? So then I had to have surgery, and there was like more pain and trauma afterwards that I had to deal with for a year and a half or whatever. I broke 3 ribs once, and then came back a year later, broke them again, played through them the second time. You know, there might have been some more trauma that happened from that. For maybe the moms in here, you know, my mom never wanted me to play football because she didn't want me to get injured. My mom's here, right? And I got injured a lot, but I love the game, right? What do you say to moms who say, just push through the stretch factors, just tell your 18-year-old son to just, he got a broken arm, just let him limp around and keep playing and just running. Like, what do you, I know we're joking about it, but when is there a time to heal versus push through?
All right, for the moms.
How many moms we got in the audience? How many moms?
All right. Let's go. Let's do it. So honest answer for that. If you are raising a young man, you have to be able to let them get to a point in life where it's not that fun. They have to learn to test themselves. I'm not saying run on broken legs or have broken ribs or have a broken wrist, but you have to treat them a little different. To me, that is where this world is going so south. Is that our men are not, and I'm not saying, look at me, I sleep with 30 women. No, that's bullshit. I said one, that's it. I said one. Okay, so that's not. What I'm talking about is be an old school man. Take care of your house, take care of your family, take care of your kids, take care of your family. Why you all clap very loudly? Because it seems really nice, it seems really good. You better have a hard-ass man to do that. To come home when he's tired and say, hey honey, you're not working, I got my second job coming up. You take care of the family. So if you don't instill this work ethic and this hard mentality, when times get bad, we will be where we are today with a lot of our men. When they're going home to mom. Because mom never said, you're gonna figure this shit out. You can figure out how to get through this. Or I'm failing as a mom. If I don't teach you how to be a man, I will fail your wife, I will fail your kids, I will fail you. And then you will fail this country. That's the responsibility of the man.
For the mom. Yeah, it's true.
And I'm not some male pig and nothing like that. I just know that the hardest thing in my life has been to man up.
Really?
Hardest thing in the world. I mean, that's one reason I'm on stage with you right now. I want to go back to home to mom all the time. I want to give up every day of my life. But my mom had a hard life, so she didn't give a damn.
Really?
She didn't give a damn. And I mean that, bro.
What were the 3 biggest lessons mom taught you?
All right, my mom, I'm gonna be honest with you. My mom worked 3 jobs. I saw her get pulled down the stairs by her hair. By my dad, I saw her get beat to where she got knocked the hell out. So I saw her go from this beautiful, kind woman, and I remember that, to a woman where her son, my brother, his daughter got murdered. And I'm at the house with my mom. My brother called my mom on the phone, and my mom just said, I'll bring my credit card, because she knew my brother didn't have any money. I get in the car and drive from Nashville, Tennessee to Indianapolis, Indiana, 5.5, 6 hours. She didn't cry, didn't say nothing. There's a storm going down. That's who she became. And I was with her that whole time she was going through that. So she didn't teach me really out of her mouth anything. She just showed me that this is what life is. Wow. And if you don't make it better, so there's no words. Words weren't ever spoken in that house. She was dealing with trauma, which is why the trauma I was dealing with, I dealt with God. One person I talked to, she would go, oh my God, you don't have God. You don't know a damn thing about me. Because you hear my mouth? You hear my mouth, so I don't know God? That's the only conversations I had. So I learned all my stuff from watching a woman work 3 jobs because she had to. Go to school at 36 because she had to. I saw a woman come home very frustrated, very mad at me because the house wasn't clean. And I learned by the numbers at a young age that you must support those people who are putting food on the table, who are going through these things. So I learned by watching and paying attention that this is life. This can be life. And if you don't figure out how to be hard and be tough and how to be resilient and learn how to respect yourself so you don't stay in situations when a man's doing that to you, you will end up a shell of who you are in life.
When did you learn to have self-respect, I guess?
That took a long time.
Really? You remember kind of the age range where you started to Because before it sounds like you just beat yourself up.
Yep.
Mentally, physically, eating a ton, whatever it is, gaining the weight,
Eating a ton.
You got up to 300 something pounds.
I was 297 when I weighed in for the Air Force or for the Navy to become a SEAL. And on the chart in front of me, he said I can weigh 191. He said you got less than 3 months to lose this weight because of my age and I was prior service. And that's when I grew up.
Really?
That's when I grew up. Because I was being haunted for years about me not growing up, by me not being David Goggins, by me not being what God knew I could be, and I was afraid to be.
You were haunted by it.
Haunted.
For how long?
I was haunted by it since I was a kid, because I always cowered. I'm not afraid to tell people that. I always cowered. Something got hard for me, man, I would lie. I was the biggest liar in the world. I lied and copied and whatever I could to take the easy way out, but that's me. That's when people come to me now and they give me their sad story. I don't care. I don't care, bro. And honestly, neither does God. He cares about you. He wants to see who you are. Who are you? You can't just throw in the towel. So right then at 24, I had a decision to make. And it was either you continue being scared of living, you can continue living in this small box, because what I could do was nothing. I could make a minimum wage, be a security guard, walk around, scan my little damn wand at 11 o'clock at night on all these little doors in the hospital. I could continue doing that. I could live a fair life. Or you can go ahead and put everything on yourself, David Goggins, and you can lose this weight. And you can go ahead and stop being afraid of the water, stop being afraid of yourself, stop being afraid of failure, stop being afraid of sacrifice, and stop being afraid of commitment to yourself, dedication, desire, will. And I said, Roger that. But it wasn't like one day.
Right. So how long did it take for you to build that self-respect?
It took probably, until I was about 30 years old.
24 to 30, kind of that range?
It's about 20, because from 20 to 24, that voice got louder and louder and louder to the point where I could not take it anymore.
Do something with your life.
Do something.
Be better. Yeah.
But what most people do, I kept that voice on. Most people just shuts off.
Numb it.
And once you numb that voice, you become exactly who you're not supposed to be. And then you always question who you could have been. So there's a lot of people out here now, a lot of people in this world, they come to me, they're rich as hell, dude. Successful, beautiful family, beautiful everything. They go, man, I'm missing something in my life.
Really?
I go, I know exactly what you're missing. I go, I'm not missing anything. Not missing anything. Because you didn't challenge yourself to the peak of your potential. You sat back and you rested. Money meant nothing to you. Your beautiful wife, it all means something to you temporarily. But we all want more. And you find more only within yourself. That's the only place you find it.
Sounds like. I'm here to say that the dream and the accomplishment of the goal that you might set yourself out to do, which is like, I'm going to do the pull-up record, I'm going to become a Navy SEAL, whatever these things are, they can, I guess, motivate or excite you or give you the energy and the thought of this is the thing that I'm going after, but really it's the self-respect you're looking to create in the journey, not the thing. Because if the thing doesn't happen, you putting yourself through it over and over again is the thing that you gain.
That's what I learned from my mother. She didn't know self.
She didn't know self.
Self. There's a bunch of words in the dictionary that has self. You need to know all of them. I didn't know any of them. And that takes a long journey. Because you can't be the person that goes to school like I did. I was like there's 5 blacks in my school. I got called the N-word all the time. They spray paint the N-word on my car. They had nooses on my span. All kind of stuff. And it bothered me. So I wanted to try to fit in as best as I could. So that's when I really started mine. And why I'm so, I guess, authentic is because I realized that that's what was one of my main downfalls in life. I didn't have any self. I couldn't walk into school knowing that someone may say something. I may get in a fight and still walk in there with my head up, my chest out. Not like, hey, I want to fight you, but I know me. And I also know you. I know why you're talking about me. I know why you're saying shit about me. I know why you are who you are. Because I'm just like you. I know why you got those demons in you. I know why you're jealous of me. I know all these different things. So the second you know yourself, you can figure out other people. on why they're doing what they're doing to put you in a spot to make themselves feel better.
That's good. So, 24 to 30, you start to gain the self-respect from all the different challenge,
Big
pain,
time.
overcoming that you did for those, essentially a decade.
A decade. Oh, that's what they'll get though. Let's stay right there. Why I grew so much between 24 and 30, and this is something I believe in, big time. Peace is found in suffering.
Peace is found in suffering. What do you mean by that?
If you're not constantly coming out here and pushing up against there's like a blue to black line when you get into the atmosphere. Where the sky goes from blue and you can see everything all nice and clear to where you're out there in outer space. It goes black. If you're not pushing up against that blue to black line every day of your life, and you're not there where you're like, man, if I go up here, man, I may not, gravity's gone. I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared of that. That's where growth is. Growth is not in this blue area. Growth is in that area where the 1% live. And the 1% doesn't mean you're talented. It doesn't mean you're smarter than everybody. It means that you're willing to go to a spot that most people cannot comprehend. But we all have the ability to go there. And that is where I grew exponentially over everybody around me. Like I was a Navy SEAL. So when you're a Navy SEAL, people look at you as uncommon. But when you're in a room of 4,000 Navy SEALs, you're all common. So how do you take yourself amongst the uncommon who are now all common because you're together to another level? And that's how I did that. I need to do something that none of you all are even willing to do, even amongst the uncommon. And that's how I started living my life.
Really? Even amongst the Navy SEALs, you're like, I need to do something even.
How many Navy SEALs know what do what I've done?
I don't know.
You ain't gonna read about it because it ain't happening.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything bad.
Right.
I'm just telling the truth.
It's almost like you made the Navy SEALs look ordinary.
I wouldn't say that. But I would say I knew what the bar was, and I became the standard. That's what they lie about me so much. They like to lie and say, oh, David Goggins never went to combat. David Goggins never went. Come on, man. Really, dude? Come on. You know better than that. I was in combat with you. But why are you saying that about me? Why are you saying that about me?
Why are people lying about stuff like that?
Why do you think anybody lies about anything?
Jealousy, frustration,
That's right.
anger, resentment.
That's right. Why? I was a 36th African American to become a Navy SEAL, and I became the face of the Navy SEALs. And everybody and their mama can go on Google, anybody wants to, and see that David Goggins was in combat. David Goggins deployed. That's what they want to say, because why? If I was the man I am today, I wouldn't have anybody talking bad about me. You will never, like I tell a lot of people, man, if I could walk on water, they say because I couldn't swim. That's just how it is.
Still have a hard time swimming today, right? You don't like it?
Not anymore.
You're a great swimmer.
I'm a good swimmer now.
You still do it because it's not the most enjoyable thing.
I do everything
Yes.
because it's not the most enjoyable thing.
Swimming is wonderful. Swimming is wonderful. I mean, it's been almost 20 years since you started to gain self-respect, right? 30 to 50.
Yep.
You're 50 in
Yep.
February 17th. What has been the biggest struggle then in the last 20 years since you've gained self-respect? For a lot of people, they don't have that self-respect. They have a lot of self-doubt, insecurity, not enoughness, whatever it might be. They don't think in a positive mindset.
Right.
What has been the biggest struggle for you once you've gained the strategy and skill of self-respect in the last 20 years? The biggest challenge you've had to face?
It's honestly myself.
Still.
Because what happens is, with each level that I've gained, there comes a sense of, you're good, bro. You made it. You made this, you're a multi-millionaire. You did this, man. You went from Brazil, Indiana, a town with 8,000 people, with a Klan marched in the 1995 parade.
No way.
And people want to say, oh, that didn't happen here. All you got to do is look in my book. Can't hurt me. There's a page in there that has a cross being burned 12 miles from my house with the Klan all around it. So I think about this, and I go, man, you came from that guy to this guy. But that's the worst enemy for me. It's because all my mind wants to do is rest. All I want to do is rest.
Every day.
Every day. Because I am a born, not loser, I'm a born lazy man. I'm lazy as shit.
I like to relax, man.
I'm lazy as shit. Like, to be 300 pounds, that's some of the happiest and most miserable times in my life. I want to be honest with you. I didn't go out to eat to be satisfied. I went out to eat to try everything on the menu. And it felt good.
Yeah, it feels real good.
So now what pushes me now, and what keeps me like in that mindset, that's why now I'm a smoke junkie. So I turn down $4 or $5 million during this time period for about 5 months out of the year, and I go to Canada, jump out of airplanes, and I'm a smoke junkie.
Turn down $5 million.
At least. Because I'm afraid of losing the very thing that I made. And that is a man who was proud of himself for what he did every day. I don't want to wake up and count my money. I want to wake up and look in the mirror and say, all right, Goggins, you're still being that dude. You are still that dude.
For those that don't know what smoke jumping is, what is that? And you're there for 5 months. Is it training and it's also rescuing, or what is that?
So what happens is, like, it's wildland firefighters, and there's a lot of fires that trucks and people cannot get to. So we jump out of airplanes, 4 of us, we have a 4-man team, and we jump out and in the trees, like it's crazy. We jump out in this specially made Kevlar suit, because a lot of times you end up in 120-foot trees and whatnot, you got let down, and we fell out of trees. And then you get there, and then you have all your gear parachute out to you. You get your gear, and you start working that fire with 4 people. And I'm like,
Is it like a hose, or what's like?
so you got to go find a water source. A lot of times there's no water source, so you're digging line.
Come on.
No. And then you're cutting down all the fuel, which is all these trees, and then you're bucking those trees up. You're getting all that fuel out of the way. You're creating a barrier, so you're trying to surround that fire and get all the fuels out of the way so that fire stops.
Wow.
So what we do in Canada, I do it in Canada, is we find a water source. And the water source isn't usually like right there. So you have to hump this pump that weighs a lot. It's like 60-some pounds. You hump this pump along with the hose, and you go hiking in the woods, and you get that hose, you start connecting hose, sometimes for miles, to get to the fire, out. Yeah. And then you got to surround the fire with the hose, and then you have different hose coming off the main hose to feed off, so you can go into the black to let the fire out.
How long will like an expedition take? Is it a couple hours? Is it days?
Sometimes it's a tree that gets hit by like a lightning strike, and you're out there for 6 hours. Sometimes you're out there for 2 weeks, and they're just resupplying you as you're out there.
Food, water, whatever.
Yeah, and then you get the package, you get resupplies, you go back to work, and you live
In the fire.
pretty much. You are right by the fire. You live a little ways from it in case it jumps off, and you're just out there being the Black Daniel Boone type shit.
Holy cow. So, is this like 5 months window? Like you start 1 month and 5 months later you're doing 0 other commitments, or there's sometimes you do some commitments you've got to jump out, or how does it usually work for you?
Like 0 commitments.
0.
I am
Someone's like, I'll give you $1 million to come back for a night to speak at this event. No, you won't do it.
Because people don't believe me on this, man. I don't give a shit about work.
Really?
I don't. And everybody say, yeah, we need it. And I'm glad I have it, because that's another worry that I used to have growing up. But it doesn't, it never has made me, like, who turns down $5 million to go fight fire for five months? If I cared about money, that's what I'd be doing, versus caring about what's up here.
Wow. But
guess what? People think they know me.
You don't know me, son.
You don't know me, son.
You don't know me, son.
You don't know me, son. Not at all.
Man, this is so. I didn't know you turned down all that money. That's incredible. I turned down a lot of money, but
Can you
that's
imagine what
another
I said right now? This guy's the dumbest guy in the world.
No.
What do I have him on stage right
Here's
now?
the thing, you never want to, there's the thing, we have these advertisers, a network that we work with, SiriusXM, that puts in front of us sponsors for the show, right? We run our business based on sponsorship.
Right.
And from the beginning, 11 and a half years ago, I was like, I don't want to promote drugs. So a lot of drug companies try to give me money to just say, get this, whatever. Not that it's wrong or bad, it's just not what I want to promote. So I'm not going to take money for money's sake. I'm not promoting alcohol on my show because I don't drink alcohol. Never been drunk.
Right.
I'm like, it's not what I want to
Neither
promote.
have I.
Never been drunk? Never.
Oh, me neither.
I don't drink alcohol.
Never had alcohol.
Drink cool, do you? But it's just, I don't want to promote that on my show directly. I don't want to voice it. And there's certain things I can't get away from. If I'm on a TV show, there's going to be sponsors, whatever. But do my best to say, I just don't need that money.
Right.
Certain money I don't need. I'll take other money or I'll take less money.
Right.
And I think that's really cool that you're willing to give up a lot of money to keep your self-respect with your commitments.
I'll go one up on that.
Give it to me.
I don't have one sponsorship deal, one paid anything deal. It's just David Goggins by himself. I've turned down millions of dollars. Not one deal. Not one. I've had shoe deals, supplements. I have everybody come to me, man.
You haven't taken anything.
Not one. You know why? Because they take this from me.
Your voice.
You ain't taking my voice, bro. They ain't taking it.
I think you staying true to yourself, you being to your self-respect, your integrity, your vision. God has rewarded you in other ways with abundance, with you putting out a book, and that's what you have. You have your speaking, you have other things that you get to use your voice and how you want to use it, and not be reliant on other companies saying you can say what you want or not.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
It is. It is. So.
I'll take a shoe deal though. I'll take your shoe deal.
It says Goggins on the side of it. It's actually a pretty cool looking shoe.
I see those shoes. Yeah.
It's a cool looking shoe, man.
Well, I saw you do a post about that, I think, a week or two ago.
Yeah, it's a cool looking shoe, man, but I ain't doing it.
But you're not endorsing it. Yeah. You'll wear it maybe, but you're not yet.
Yeah. I'm not
That's
doing it.
great, man. You've got these two main books. Are you working on another book any chance?
I am.
Really?
I am. Exactly. So what people don't know, this book killed it so much, they think that your second book is not going to be as good as your first. This is actually just as good or better than my first book.
Come on. Sold better?
And the audio book, so I did the audio book very different. For the second one, it's way different. My mom, so for this book, my mom's like, don't be putting my life in there.
This one.
She said, don't be telling people about my life. So what happened was my mom was very ashamed because my mom, after my dad, her soon-to-be second husband got murdered in our garage. And then, so like I said, her mind went. And so she married a guy that was in prison for 10 years. And how he got into prison was he murdered a woman for drugs.
Wow.
And so my mom comes on in the audio book from Never Finished. And I said, hey, you're retired now because of me.
You're doing what I want you to do.
You better come out your shell. I'm telling people I peed in bed and stuff till I was way old. But nobody cares about your life, dude. You can help people, educate them. So come on out here. So we do a 30-minute podcast. As far as the audio book, it's powerful because she kind of goes there and you can hear in her voice. She doesn't cry, but her voice is broken. Yeah. And it was weird because she was reliving her life, and I know it all very well because I was always like that dude, that guy, her son, that just said, I'm going to be here.
So you know from your perspective, not her perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
So she doesn't open up too much, but she opened up real big now.
Wow.
Respect, brother.
So what's the next book then? What's going on next?
I can't even tell you about it, man, because it's fire.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not done.
Gotta tell you.
It's never finished.
It's good.
I'm still not done.
Do we know when it's coming out, or you're not saying?
So I have 2 more chapters to write, but I can't write them until it's done.
Okay, gotcha. So it could be a year or 2,
Yeah.
who knows?
Right.
In the distance, okay.
Exactly.
Hopefully we get to have a conversation about that when it happens.
Roger that.
So much has happened in the last year in your life also. I just feel like you just continue to ascend your message. You care less about material things, and you keep getting more and more people wanting you for things and opportunities.
Power of
and
it,
growth.
man.
You spent 5 months essentially disconnected from everyone,
Yep.
from opportunities. What do you see when you hit 50 is going to be a new unlock for you? What is the blue to black line for you at 50? Have you thought about that?
Yeah.
For the next decade of your life, what are you thinking?
I hate to do this to people, but I can't say it right now. But it's been something I've been working on now for 10 years. And I'm finally at the cusp now where I can make this happen. And I like to keep these things to myself because it's like, all the work I put in, people see a 1-minute video of me. I don't grow in that 1-minute video, that's for them. Maybe it'll get you off the couch, maybe it'll get you motivated. My growth is unseen.
10 years of work.
Yes, my growth is in a locked room. It's in a dark street. It's in a dark gym. It's in a dark mindset. Learning. I am the lab rat that's in this book. I've always been the lab rat. I like to test the mind. And I like to do live autopsies. So many people, everybody who dies, guy comes, cuts him open. He got a massive heart attack. Closes him back up. Read the report. Massive heart attack. So many of us are dying every day of our lives while we are alive. But we don't stop for a second and do a live autopsy. See, why am I not living? Why am I not living? So we don't cut ourselves open, our mind. We have all this scar tissue in our minds. And in scar tissue, you know, you look at these fibers, you get hit in your mouth, that scar tissue bleeds real quick. We're not going back through our lives and going back through and seeing, why am I in this place? Why am I not getting out of this? Why am I picking the same men or women in my relationships? Why am I doing this? Why am I settling always? Until you take the time and do a live autopsy and pull yourself out of it, you're always going to be dying when you should be living. And that's just stuff.
Wow. What does that look like for someone? Like, how can you explain how everyone here could do a live autopsy of their minds or a reflection? What is the process
Perfect.
like?
I love that. It looks like this. What is not coming out of my pockets right now? Who said phone? Phone. Get rid of that damn thing.
You have a phone?
I have a phone,
Just don't have it on.
but for someone to call me. Say, hey, I need you to pick me up from this. Hey, my tire's flat. Hey, can you, it's not for this. So it starts with the most powerful weapon in the world is your mind. But for most people, it's their phone. And so what happens is you have to disconnect from the world for a little bit every day so that you can go deeper into your mind. We live in this world in our minds where everything's surface. Everything is surface. Everything is surface. Our conversations are surface. Did you see Kim Kardashian? Did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see Kanye West and his girlfriend walking with no clothes on? You see, all this stuff is surface. Okay, bro, like, when are we gonna get in? When are we gonna get down in there, bro?
Yes.
When are we gonna get down in the muck? Because we ain't fixing nothing up here, bro. Yeah. And it seems like most of us in this world are living off of 100 people's lives. Never our own. We talk about this person on Instagram, that person on Instagram. It's like everybody's living off of the top 100 famous people in the world. We know all about them. What's going on with you? What are you doing with your life? But we got all this gossip about Trump and all the okay, whatever. what are you doing with your life? And that's what I do all the time. I stay in that world. But at the end of the day, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. It matters how good can I be so that I can give this best person to people in my life. There would be, everybody talks, oh my God, you changed my life, you changed my life, you changed my life. That doesn't happen. Think about it. How many people write a book about some poor, broke down black kid that makes it, and you make hundreds, you make millions of dollars off of a story about your ass just getting, I want to cuss so damn bad.
Does, man.
No, by getting up. See now he's coming out because now I'm reliving this crap.
Go ahead, man. Let it rip.
But that is it.
Let it rip if you want.
That's what I'm talking about. Why is that book so powerful? Why has it changed so many lives? You ain't changing nothing, man, by doing this. You're changing it by when that alarm clock goes off, and you're fat, and you're miserable, and you're depressed, and you say, I'm getting the fuck up today. You're not going to change lives by being normal. Not going to. I never forget when I went for this book, man, someone offered me $30,000. They said, man, who's going to want to buy a book about a black guy? It's a great story. Well, who's going to want to buy a book about a black guy that kind of, 14% of the population is black. That's not it. So he thought my audience was black. My audience is people. Human beings. How color really works? What you gonna get? When you go through what other people are going through, your color's gone.
Yes.
I went from the N-word, no name, to David Goggins or Mr. Goggins by living a life of respect and self-respect for myself, not living for anybody, but that reflection in that mirror. How do you want to look at yourself in the mirror? How do you want to live your life? And how do you want to be remembered, David? You want to be remembered by a fat-ass Eagle Lab guy that sprays for cockroaches from 11 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock in the morning? Or do you want to go to Vegas in your mind and put everything on yourself and see where the chips lie?
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Something I appreciate about David, he's a gentleman. He's a gentleman. Backstage before him, saying hi, we're connecting for a moment. And he says, hey, Lewis, real quick, how much am I allowed to cuss? And I said, just maybe 10%. 10% of what you say, cuss. And he goes, I'll do 3%. What, man? The reason why you may not understand one normal word out of my mouth. There may be a whole bunch of other words that just don't sound right. And once I get passionate, cuss words just start flying. Feel free to fuck it. Yeah, there you go. Feel free to let it rip if you want to for the rest of the time I have.
That's why we love you!
Respect.
I'm curious if you, so there's certain things you're not allowed to talk about that you're still working on, that you're dreaming about, you're creating, you're in a dark place, that you're going to be hopefully launching after 50 and beyond, you're working on. But I'm curious if you could imagine someone in this audience right now who is in a place before you made a decision to start having self-respect. So maybe you're 24, right before then, you're in that state.
Right.
Physically, emotionally, spiritually, you feel bankrupt, whatever it is for you. And if there's someone here who decided to come because they knew you were coming.
Right.
People flew from all over the world. A lot of people come up to me and said, I flew from all over the world.
Appreciate you.
Because I know David Goggins was coming.
Right. Hey, man, somebody just stop those two people from leaving. Don't leave, no, yeah, you. Where you going? Boring? Am I boring, dude? Am I? Come here. I ain't got all day, brother. Have I bored you? meet you. What's your name? Sergio. Nice to meet you. You got a phone?
Yeah.
Let's just take a picture real quick.
Now everyone's gonna start walking out and taking photos. Oh no. No more photos after this, guys. I'm just saying, everyone's gonna have to start leaving.
All right. Sorry about that. No, hang on. Hey, let me do this real quick, and I'll get you once it's over. I promise. Okay.
Feel free to take your seats. No one go to the bathroom anymore. Everyone's gonna come up here.
All right, so what will I say to this person?
Yeah. So how many people flew from around the world? Just curious. How many people flew from out of the
Oh.
world?
Miami, not around the
A lot of
world.
people came up to me and said, I came here because I saw Dave was coming. I've wanted to hear him speak for a long time. I've read his books. I've listened to his audio book. I've seen him on shows. And if they don't have the self-respect yet, if you can go back to 24, roughly around that age where you felt like you just didn't have it.
Right.
And if there was a message that you could tell yourself back then of like, what's on the other side and what it's going to take to gain that self-respect.
Right.
If you can imagine that younger self of you, but someone here also that needs to hear that, what would you say to younger you and them right now?
All right. You have to be a dreamer without letting that dream own your mind. And what that means is, my dreams owned my mind. It felt really good to sit back and think about these dreams I had. But the work to put that, the work that went into making these dreams come true, I never had the courage to start. So, when I was 24, and I was 300 pounds, and I came home from spraying for cockroaches, and I watched this Discovery Channel show, or History Channel, whatever the hell was on, about guys going to class 224 to be Navy SEALs. And I come out of the shower, I'm fat, so I'm holding my towel because my ass was so big, you better hold on to the towel. And every day, every night, I would go by Steak and Shake and get a large chocolate milkshake, and I get a box of meat. Oh, hell no. And my boy took it like a 42 ounce. Look it up. Let's get a special cup.
Oh,
I had chocolate donuts, and that was my thing. I had a 45-minute commute home. I killed those donuts. I was just fat and depressed, but I always wanted to be a special operator. So I'm sitting there, and I'm watching this Discovery Channel show, whatever show it was, and watching the guys go through the whole week. And the class was like 200, it's like 18. Now we're at graduation. So all these guys, 18 guys in their dress whites, and this commanding officer walks up in his dress uniform. He stands up there. I won't give you the whole thing, but he says something that's very powerful to me, that we live in a world where mediocrity is often rewarded. These 18 men detest mediocrity.
wow.
And he went on to keep talking. And I looked at the rolls I had on my stomach, the donuts. And I went from 175 in high school to 300 pounds. And so those voices that were there for so many years, they became the only voice I heard. There was this nice, kind voice that always said, David, that became a bad life, dude.
Keep eating the donuts.
You're okay, you're fine, yeah, this makes you feel better. But when I will tell these people to do that, read my book, and haven't read my book, and are in this bad place, at that moment, I allowed myself to imagine a chair alongside the 18th person as the 19th person. I was sitting there.
Really? I just got chills when you said that.
I allowed myself to imagine that. And I imagined that until I cut that tape off for my last run. And I graduated Navy SEAL. I want to cry right now because you can't make that shit up. You can't make up being a disgusting, fat, no having anything guy and dream about the biggest dream of all time. I'm going to be a Navy SEAL. And I'm going to be that guy in the 19th chair. And not only was I a Navy SEAL, I was one of the best in the class. And I'm going to be the best at Ranger School. We're going to go try out for every damn special ops in the world. I went and I went and I went and I went and I went because I stopped allowing dreams to be my master. I mastered my dreams. And I was the 19th person in that chair. So if you can't visualize yourself being that 19th person in that chair, if you can't visualize yourself being the CEO, being that, being this, being this, being this, if you cannot see it, if you cannot see the end of something, how this looks, how this feels when you, have you seen The Pursuit of Happiness? One of the best scenes I've ever seen in my life is when this man runs down those stairs and you can reflect on all his hard work. He put in so much fucking work and determination and desire. And this is what people don't get from me. I live for that 30 seconds. I put in 20 years of time for 30 seconds of dopamine that no one can ever relive. The feeling that goes through your body when you get that job, when you don't make money and you are that 19th person, that's what got me out of that chair. That's what got me to put the donuts down. That's what got me to do all the hard work. Is how will you feel if you are in that chair? And that's what it was.
Damn, that's good. How important then are, you say you don't want dreams to master you, you want to master the dream. I think that's what you said. How important is dreaming for you? To like see a dream, to visualize it, to see the 19th chair, the whatever thing you're working on that we can't talk about right now, but these dreams, how important are they? And then when you think about the dream, do you think about it once and just say, okay, I'm going to go to work for 10 years? Or do you constantly imagine, I'm in that 19th chair, I'm in that 19th chair, it's going to happen, I don't know when, but it's going to happen?
So I'm big on visualization.
Yeah.
So my dreams have morphed into long visualization. So what happens for me now, like when I first did my first Badwater race, 135 miles to Death Valley, I literally went out to the course 5 months before it even happened. So I got accepted for the race in January, I believe it was, or February. And then
How old are you at this time?
I was, it was 2006. So, yeah.
18 years ago, is that right?
Yeah,
So
around
32-ish.
Yep, 32. So at 32 years old, I drive from San Diego to Death Valley, and I drive the entire course. And I'm driving the course, and I'm driving it so that I can see myself at all these points. So then as I'm running, I can visualize. So before I get there, I've run the course every day of my life. When I'm running, my training runs, I'm running the course. I'm imagining the climb up Stovepipe. I'm imagining the climb up Darwin. I'm going down the steep descent as I go up Towns Pass. It's a 9-mile descent. I'm imagining myself going up to 18-mile climb. I'm imagining my shoes burning up because a guy's frying an egg on the side of the pavement right now. And then I imagine myself from at mile 122 making that left turn up Mount Whitney. And I'm going up this Mount Whitney Porter Road. I'm going up Mount Whitney Porter Road. And I imagine myself on my hands and knees just going up. And I'm going through this. And I'd never run one foot in the course.
Wow.
But when I got out to the course, I did every single thing that I thought about for the months leading up to that race. And I did really well. So I just believe that. That's just how my mind works. You have to be present to do that.
You do that with everything? Every big dream you're thinking about and living the course or the actions beforehand?
Everything. If you can't see yourself doing it, chances are it is not going to happen.
Right.
So
I love that. I love that. I don't know if this is a dumb decision, but part of me wants to open up to a few questions, and it might be kind of crazy. But before we do that, is there anything on your heart and mind lately that you just want to share, that you're excited about, that you're worried about, that's personal to you, that's something that's happening in the world, that's on your heart or mind, anything at all that's been on your heart lately?
not really on my heart, but I will share this with you all. A lot of people out here, when you start to go for big goals and big dreams, and you start to really go outside the box, the normal box of the world, a lot of people, Just imagine this, when I'm 300 pounds, they say I want to be a Navy SEAL, and they know that I eat donuts for a living, and I spray for cockroaches at nighttime, and I make $1,000 a month, and I'm afraid of water. You can think I'm crazy. So when you dream big, you can think you're crazy. This isn't some after-school special motivational speech, because that ain't me. This is real life shit. One thing I understand is this. Many people will think you're crazy. One thing you must always let them know is this. I'm not crazy. I'm just not you. So that's one thing I remember my whole life. People love to put this title on me. Like when they put a title on me, it makes them feel better. Oh, he's just crazy. He's this, he's that. No, I'm sane as hell. But just remember that when you go for the big dreams and the big goals and you want to be your best self, you will be misunderstood. And when you are misunderstood, you are in a very fucking good spot. All right, so you got questions?
Okay. We have a couple of lights, a couple of runners in chances to make sure. Okay. Come up here to the front if you can. Let's start here with the hand here. You just have it up. You can give this person. If you can, just share your. What's your name? You're good. You can give it to her. You're good. Yeah. What's your? Share your name, where you're from, what you're grateful for, and we're going to give you no backstories or no here's my life story, but just what's your question. So what's your name?
Hi, my name is Anna.
Where are you from?
I'm from LA.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful to be here today and meet David Goggins.
Appreciate that.
And what is the question?
Okay, the question is, this. So I'm grateful for everything I have, and I feel like I've done a lot in my life, but right now, I know the advice you gave is to close up, to look through within and figure out like your next step.
Right.
But what if you're not sure what your next step is because there's so many options?
That's a good thing.
And I do feel like I have so many directions I could go into, and even after going in and doing meditations and closing, the phone and everything, I still don't know where I can be helpful, where I can be of service, because there are so many options today.
Okay, this is very easy. It wasn't like I woke up one day and said, I want to go be this. Okay? We all think that this purpose, what we need in life, is just going to be so front and center in our lives. No, it's not. Sometimes the very thing that you don't want to do is the very thing that you should be doing as your purpose in life. So what you need to understand is you got all these options, but you're still asking the question of what should I be doing versus saying, I'm just going to get one of these options and go. Because if you are wasting time. You're wasting time. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to leave here and ask somebody the same damn question a year from now.
No.
Okay, well then, figure out those options, pick one, and go there. Because if it's not like a loud voice saying, we want to do this, you need to pick something, because right now your time is being wasted. Because guess what I did? I was the same way. I did them all. It's called front loading. You front load your life. Do them all. All right,
Thank you so much for that question. Let's do one on this side. Whoever's got the mic over there, someone have a mic down the front. Go ahead. The guy right here behind you. Sorry, the guy standing in the aisle. Yeah, right there with your hand. Yep. Go ahead. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Ciprian.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Romania, but currently living in Italy, in Florence.
What are you grateful for?
So I'm grateful because I thought I struggled with self-doubt, and hearing David a couple of minutes ago, I realized that no, I know I can do it, but there is a part of me.
What's your question too?
So I'm grateful for that realization that actually I know that I can do it, but I use the self-doubt as a mechanism to not put in the hard work. So that's what I'm grateful for. And my question is, like, I overcome so much in the last years, but sometimes for me, when I put new goals with big dreams, and when I'm in that suffering, I'm losing the perspective. I'm in the pain, I'm in the suffering, so it becomes too much that it's overwhelming, and I forget that actually through that, I'm going to get to the other side, and it's going to be awesome.
Right.
Price that I'm paying at that moment, it's worth paying. So how do I keep perspective in the suffering and be excited? Because through this suffering, I'm going to get to that place. Because when I get to that perspective, I have no problem dealing with the suffering.
Well, what's funny, man, is that you have the answer because you're saying the answer. That's the fucking tough part, my friend. The tough part is knowing that all the stuff you said, but this is what it is for you. Guess why I had to go through 3 hell weeks? I kept getting injured, right? Why the hell, in my 3rd one, I was injured going into it, but I got through it. My lump became so great, I didn't give a shit anymore about the pain and the suffering. But in the beginning, I cared so much about what you were talking about, it didn't mean that much to me. So I thought about it. Oh, I'm gonna get hurt, I'll get rolled, I get some time off, I come back. When it means that much to you, you will know, because when you're in that pain and suffering, all you'll do is smile and keep going forward.
Mic over here. Right here, right here, right here, right here. I got it, right here, right here. Louis?
Right here.
Louis, right here. Louis, right here. Louis, Louis, right here. Look, Louis. You see me?
Okay, I got him,
Yeah. Okay.
So it's kind of hard to get a speaker.
Oh, right here. I don't know where it is. Right here.
Right here.
I know, it's where? Right here. You gotta be fast. What's your name?
Speaker.
My name's Kobe.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful to be here right now, talking to both of you right now.
Okay, a quick question, because we gotta be fast.
Okay, so quick question, David. So about 8 years ago.
No backstory, we just need a question.
Oh my
You
God.
gotta respect David's time, so you gotta be right to the point of the question.
Okay, just, so about 8 years ago,
No backstory. Ask the question.
I gained about 45 pounds 8 years ago. So I'm trying to lose the weight. It's from psychiatric medications cocktail. And I'm trying to lose the weight. It's been the hardest battle of my life. I refuse to take Ozempic, but losing the weight is a difficult battle. And do you have any advice? I've been fat for the last 8 years.
So you want to lose 45 pounds, and you can't.
Yeah.
Let's say that one more time. But say it real loud and say it clear for everybody here. You want to lose 45 pounds, but you can't.
Yeah, I tried it.
Say it.
But say it out loud. Say it.
I've been unable to lose that 45 pounds.
But no, say it loud.
I want to lose the 45 pounds.
But what?
I can't.
How the fuck am I going to help you do that?
That's why I'm not asking no questions. That's why I'm not asking no questions. I'm not asking no questions.
That is why I'm up here speaking right now, and I hate to speak. People want this fucking answer that I can't give you. You have to go inside your heart and your soul. I can't do it. Lewis can't do it. You can't. What's your name, ma'am? Berta can't do it. What's your name?
Kobe.
Kobe? That's a badass name. Live up to it.
What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Nico.
Where are you from, Nico?
I'm from LA here.
What are you grateful for?
For my mom who brought me here. What's that card?
How old are you?
15.
15. Thanks, Mom.
My question is, what is the best piece of advice you've learned throughout your life that you wish you would have known when you were completely lost?
So you're 15, right? This is a great age to know this right here. Look inside yourself right now. What do you want to be right now? That's the problem. That's the problem I had at 15. Okay? You got to figure that right there out. And once you figure that out, what you want to be, especially try to figure it out as soon as you can, and put everything into being that. Everything into that. Don't care about anything else but being that. That will create your best self. And then you take that best self and spread it like seeds across the world about how good you can be, how great you can be. But you're never going to be your best self until you find out what you want to be. Because once you do that, something happens to your body and your soul, you become fulfilled. And once you become fulfilled, you can then fulfill others. But why so many people look to take versus fill? Because they are not full themselves. So fill that, all right?